today. Um, yeah, thank you guys for joining. Thank you for listening, doing all the things that you're doing, and supporting me and liking videos and subscribing. Please do that if you haven't already. So we're about yesterday. Um, I shared my testimony. I did it live, but there's a reason I had to have to remake this. So we'll get into that in a second. But um, yeah, so this is what we're doing here. For people that didn't hear it, that weren't joining the live stream, I'm sorry. You probably didn't notice it because I did. But anyway, yeah. I was blessed enough and honored to be able to share my testimony with my friends at the young adult group that we have at Oak Ridge Baptist Church. Something that we do this, we get together every Sunday, Sunday night at church. So if you're someone that is the age of, that has graduated, um, and I think it's to 26, I believe. If you're around that age, you're always welcome to join. It's a great group, great people. But yeah, I'm blessed and honored to be able to know them, and they're great people, man. But yeah, why I had to remake this, and yeah, we're about to get into. So I realized I made an accident, maybe. Um, During when I was sharing my testimony, I was recording it. Behind me was the halftime show. Yeah, I should have turned the TV off. I should have went with Kendrick Lamar's advice and just turned this TV off. Like, bruh, for real. So yeah, while it was going on, I left it on. I just turned the volume off. I should have just turned it off. But anyway, while I was sharing my testimony, there was some craziness stuff going on behind me. And I didn't watch the halftime show. Not going to, but I probably will make a video about it because I have to. I didn't watch it. I had no clue what happened. I have no clue what he's saying, what happened. But behind me, apparently, there were some girls twerking in the halftime show behind me. And sure, anyone that sees that behind them while I'm sharing my testimony is crazy. What? Great. The devil is trying to distract us, bro. While I'm trying to preach this truth. I mean, come on. Come on. Really? I should just turn the TV off. But yeah, that's what happened. That's why I gotta remake this, because I don't want anyone to see that stuff. Ain't nobody need to see that stuff. You don't need to see it, and I don't want you to see it. And you probably won't even notice because you're listening to me. But yeah, for real. And that's why I had to remake it. And we're only on YouTube right now. Not on the podcast, on Spotify right at this moment. A lot of people don't have Spotify. Um, and I've noticed that many people. I'm still going to be recording on Spotify, but just not for this video. But yeah, that's why I have to remake this. I want to just let you guys know. And I know it's kind of like craziness, but we're going to make a video of the halftime show. Believe me. But anyway, testimony time. For the people that did not hear it, here we go. And if you're somebody that is scared and afraid to share their testimony, I say to you that don't be afraid. Man, it says it in the Bible too many times. the point that is so important. Don't. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. God is with you. Because when you share your testimony, I've been saying this new thing now that we all know there's 66 books in the Bible, right? Technically, there's 67 books in the Bible. The 67th book of the Bible is the one that you tell from your perspective, that you tell other people. Because I believe that a testimony has more power to touch people and turn people to Jesus than the Bible. Because when you throw, maybe, I'm not saying the Bible can't do it, it definitely can. But when you throw verses at unbelievers, it's going to be tough for them to understand sometimes in context of what they're trying to, what's Jesus or any of the writers were trying to say in the Bible, because like some of them probably not going to understand fully, like, what does it mean? What holy? What does that mean? Unequally yoked. What does that mean? Like stuff like that. They're not going to understand it fully. Which a testimony they can maybe relate to more in a personal level, especially if you know them. Especially if you know them. But yeah, that's why I believe that the power of a testimony is so powerful. Because, in my opinion, everybody has a story. Everybody has a testimony. Believe me. Is what we do. Share the good news of the Lord. It's what we're made to do. It's what we're called to do. But yeah, let's get into this. So, my testimony. So yeah, growing up as a kid, I was probably not the greatest in school. Let's just say that. Wasn't the smartest kid. Was a kid that needed help in school. Dude, when I was in high school, my reading level was a 4th grade reading level. That's bad. That's bad. But yeah, I always had trouble learning in school and stuff like that. And it still stings and sucks. All the stuff. But yeah, teachers, coaches have told me things that I shouldn't have heard at my age. Stuff like, you stink. Not good enough. Stuff. Specifically, I remember this teacher telling me that I would never do anything successful in my life. That struck me. And I was young when I heard this. Like telling a young kid that is crazy. And if someone's out there that is a kid that someone told you that, do not believe them. They don't know you like that. I just dislike teachers and parents that tell kids you can't do it. Be realistic. I hate when people say be realistic. Like you don't know that God exists. Because nothing is impossible without God, right? Exactly. But yeah, around that time, stuff. Got bullied in school. In my opinion, bullied by teachers, which is crazy to say. But yeah, this was all going on at Salisbury Christian, a place where I was being taught the Bible, didn't know the Bible by heart or bother reading it really, because I don't like reading, especially that reason. And as I said, I was at Salisbury Christian, so I was like This is definitely like a definition of church hurt right there. Now, were all of them Christians? Probably not. They needed a job there, you know? But with all those people telling me that when I was at the school, there's a lot of people out there that maybe go in church and they feel judged right at the get go. And I'm sorry if you ever felt that way and you had to go to church. Your first time ever going and someone in there judging you for some stupid reason, let's be honest, is baffling to me. Baffling to me. And I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. Churches, guess what? In the Bible it says, come as you are. Jesus is saying, come to me. I love you. I want a relationship with you. That's why that's what he's saying. So, in my opinion, hear me out here, that everybody is welcome to church. Everyone is. But hear me out, but you are not called, you're not supposed to stay as you are in life. You gotta make a change. You got to be holy. And what holy means is to be set apart from this world. That's what you need to do. It does say come as you are, but it does not say stay as you are. I want you to realize that. That is important. But yeah, around that time, yeah, was tough growing up. And then, fast forward a little bit, my parents would get into arguments a lot in my life. It got to me, not gonna lie to y'all, it was really bad for a kid to hear that stuff and traumatizing, to be honest with you, to hear all that stuff. And around this time, it was in 2020, yeah, around that time where COVID was going on, all that stuff was going on in this world. But yeah, around that time was tough, was dark, sad, hopeless, alone. Reason I was alone because 2020, you didn't see anybody, you didn't talk to anybody, except on a phone or playing Fortnite video game with someone. But yeah, he didn't really get the chance to talk about what was going on in my life at the time. Then one moment I noticed that on my mom's phone, my mom was talking to another guy. And at the age, it was like young. I didn't really understand it at the time fully what was going on there. But eventually I would confront her about it, talked about it, and then we just never brought it up again, never talked about it again. But until what sucked about this is because I had to keep a secret from my dad. And that was the toughest thing I ever had to do. Because y'all know I love my dad. He's been there for me. He's the person that's been there for me. The reason I did that was, one, that for them to stop arguing, and two, because I don't want to see them get divorced or stray away, anything like that. Yeah, that's the reason. And eventually, of course, my dad will find out, and then it will lead to more, even worse arguments that no kid should be seeing, no kid should be watching. Around this time, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I would cry. And for any of you out there that said, "Oh, you shouldn't cry. Men can't cry," that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Because we all are human beings. We have emotions. It is okay to cry. If you're a man out there or a woman out there, that someone tells you you're crying, It's a lame. When you're going through something, you're meant to cry. It's a human emotion. Crying is okay. Sometimes crying can help. Let me tell you, you know how I know this? Because in the Bible it says Jesus wept. Meaning Jesus cried his eyes out. Cried his eyes out. If you can only imagine that. So yeah, that. But yeah, and then around that time, again, arguments. Um, just one night, I cried like crazy. Um, in my room, all by myself. And then eventually, my old dog Marley, that sadly passed away, um, ran in the room as any wild dog would do, and knocked over my shelves, and the Bible was laying face down on a Bible verse, which said, John 13:7. You may not know now, but later you will understand. And this verse that hit me. And fun fact, that is also Jalen Hurts' favorite verse. If you didn't know that. But yeah, around that moment, right when I read that verse, I felt peace like I never had before. And in this moment, a lot of people question me about this part and say, "Oh no, there's no way this happened. No." But I can tell you, in this moment, I can't explain anything else. I felt someone touch me on my shoulder. In that very instant, in that very moment, I felt someone touch my shoulder. And I believe that to be Jesus because there was nobody behind me at the time. That was Jesus touching me on my shoulder. Because my entire life, Jesus has been there for me. And I know that now. More than ever. I know that now. But as we go there, we dive into the Bible a little bit more. In my life, world was in chaos. Honestly, COVID was the least of my worries during this time. Thankfully, I never got it. Knock on wood. But yeah. Yeah. Let's fast forward a little bit, going into high school at Parkside. As many of you know, I love this thing called football. I played this thing called football. And football was my dream. To play in the NFL, to do that was my dream since I was a kid. And I was trying to fight for my opportunities. Worked so hard for them, like basically my entire life. Worked. Sacrificed my summer. Did so many things. And eventually just never got my opportunity that was working so hard for. It broke me because there was this one moment, one game we were playing Queen Anne's, that's in Centerville, if you don't know where that is, Centerville, Maryland. We're playing them. It was still a winnable game. Quarterback gets hurt. And I'm all ready to go in there. I thought, hey, it's my time to go. As soon as I run on the field, coach tells me, no, go back on the sideline. And I did that, and I was feeling all the emotions at this time. Anger, sadness, wanting to throw my helmet against the bleachers, all that stuff. Broken, hurt, all those things you can imagine. I felt them. I felt them. I felt right in that instant that the dream that I had since I was a kid just died. Just died. Um, yeah, around that time, I was just like, felt like a failure. Because I failed at something. I felt like a failure. And then going through school, the rest of the school year in my senior year sucked because I did not want to be there. I did not want to be at school. It may seem that I was had a smile on my face, but no one knew what was going on inside. Because I was scared, hopeless, not sure what was next. Because I was in a time of my life where senior year, everybody's telling you what to do, what you need to do with your life, where are you going to go to college, and I did not know at the time. I did not know. I was not sure why or what was next in my life at that time. And I'm just trying to, I prayed, just did research on colleges and all that stuff. Eventually I would come to the result that, hey, I might want to do college online. That's what I did. That's what I do. But yeah. Around this time I was broken, lost, hurt, all those things, going through school, just not really caring, to be honest. All that time. But then, summer camp rolls around. That very summer, my last summer camp as a student. No, many of you know I volunteer with middle school. I really just did that to volunteer, just to say, hey, I'm doing something. But during this camp, I really noticed that how much they cared for me, how much I meant to them. I didn't realize this before, how much they really meant to, you know. And I noticed there was this moment where during this camp that the pastor that was speaking at the summer camp told the kids that, hey, if you have received Christ for the very first time, stand up. And not even gonna lie to you, almost all the middle school boys stood up. And some of them are in high school now, which is awesome to see them grow so much. In that instant, I saw them stand, and I was just in tears, happy tears. And there's a kid right by me, so there is proof that I did actually cry. Happy tears. And right in that instant, I realized I know what I need to do with my life. This is what matters. What I'm doing with these middle school kids in this ministry matters. And this is only matters because Jesus. This is what I'm doing it for. Jesus, so these kids can get Jesus. Because a lot of people right now in this world are down on these kids, telling them they're idiots. This is the worst generation ever. I see that a lot, and I want to strangle people when I hear that, because you don't spend time with any of these kids at all, and you expect anything to change. Yes, not every kid is the same, and not every kid knows Jesus. Not every kid is going through life great and having a perfect life free of trouble. Some of them go get into trouble. They do that. But to say that, oh, I shouldn't help. These kids are crazy, annoying, and you're not doing anything to change that. And you're sitting here saying crazy stuff that these kids are terrible, it's the worst generation, and you're not doing anything about it. Just baffles me and, quite frankly, upsets me. But that's why I do. Every Sunday, I'm blessed and honored to be able to speak with these kids. And we have a video that we play, and I'm discussing that with them during this time. I'm trying to be a youth pastor at the church right now. I finally found that God was calling me to do this. And as everything was going great, around this time, Joey was really dumb. And I did not share this part. I'll tell you why that is. I didn't share this part of the story because it would have been rude to the person that was there to share it to. I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't prepared to see him there. I wasn't like, what? He's going to be here? I didn't think he was going to be there. His name's Brian. Probably heard me talk about this before. But yeah. He was there, and I did not want to share this part of the story because I did not want to make him think. I did not want to make him feel bad about himself because that's not what I'm trying to do. But this part of the story matters right now. Matters. So my dumb self eventually I'll meet this girl, right? We'll talk at camp, summer camp, better there. And they went to long-term relationships. God bless you. Well, it's tough. But around this time, so many crazy stuff happened. Everything was going good. Relationship going good. My friends are going good. And then until they would break up with this girl. Both of them would talk behind my back. And I got very angry. I got very upset with both of them. Lashed out. Crashed out. And I got angry. And that anger would lead to some very hateful things to say that I should never have said about either of them. And that's what happened. And around this time, I'll be right back. Uh, there's a shirt I had. Um, Around this time also, there was a shirt I had with my friend. You maybe seen it before. Um, but yeah, around this time of going through all this stuff, during when this was happening, I got some pretty awful news. Um, One of my close friends um, shockingly passed away at 19 years old. I found this news out of the blue. Out of the blue, shocked, did not know. He died in a motorcycle accident. During when I was losing a lot of people in my life, I lost him as well. Marquise was a very close friend of mine that I met at Stepping Stones. That's where I met Brian. I met Devin. Some of you may know him. Um, Met a lot of great people there. Seth Bird as well. And then eventually I would meet Marquise there. Um, One of my closest friends again. Just shockingly saw him pass away. Can't explain it. It was just shock that I felt. And I am so blessed and honored and grateful that in that exact day, the day he passed away, that morning, we talked. I got to see him one last time, not even knowing that was the last time I was going to talk to him. Yeah. You can imagine in that last conversation we had, we talked about Jesus. So I believe so firmly that he is up there in heaven. I believe it wholeheartedly. I know that because he was a Christian. He's a really great person. And right now, we're still trying to honor his legacy and honor. Like, he was so positive, more positive than me, more a smile on his face than me. And y'all know me, I'm pretty positive, but that man, more positive than me. And so I'll try to carry on, have a smile on my face every day, be joyful every day, no matter what I'm going through, because Marquise did that. And again, around this time, losing all that, a bunch of my friends would hurt. I was again stuck feeling hopeless, hurt, broken. The craziest thing happened. A day later, when this stuff with all that was going on, the situation, watched this movie called The Forge, right? And in this movie on the moment. And if you have not watched that movie, please go watch it. It's on Netflix, actually. I would encourage you guys to watch that movie. It's a great movie. But yeah, and I forgave them both because of that. What happened in the movie? Go, tell them. There's a moment in the movie where I found out the meaning of forgiveness for real. And I forgave them both. They did not forgive me. Don't talk to the girl anymore. I did try to say, Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas to the girl. Didn't say anything back, just to be nice, just to be friendly, but didn't say anything back. So, okay. But when I tell you, important moment in this story is that Brian was there. Now, I didn't share that part. This is how you know prayer works. This is how you know it works. This is how you know prayer is important. I preach about this. I'm going to preach about this more now. Because it does not make any sense that I have been praying for Brian every single day. I've been praying for him every single day. He makes it to church. Now the blue talks to me. This person hasn't communicated to me in a long while. And he hears my testimony, and it hit him. Then we had a conversation about all that happened. A well-needed conversation that probably should happen sooner. Yeah, but eventually just left the past in the past. And what happened because I never stopped praying, forgiving him, still wanted to see him do well, proud of him. Yeah, and that just happened yesterday. So yeah, it's crazy, just in awe and shock. Prayer works, guys. Pray for people. And I pray that he still makes his way into the church in our young adult group. Pray he still makes it out there. And lastly, not but least, I was sharing a story of me as a kid. People telling me that I'll never be enough. I'll never do anything successful in my life. Little did they know that I would be doing so much important work. Not for this world, but for the kingdom of God. And what I get to do now is something called God using me. A God that does not need my help. Decided to say, Matthew 28:19, go make Go and make disciples. Say, hey, I want you to do that. And there's a bunch of things God is using me for right now. Guys, we do this podcast for Him. I would love to talk about our favorite things, but guess what? Jesus is the most important thing. A relationship with Him is the most important thing. That is what's important. That's what changes people. That's what changes people's lives. Through my life, Jesus has been there for my entire life, touching me on my shoulder, saying everything is going to be okay. You may not understand it now, but now I do. God put me through those obstacles for a reason. All the things that God is using me for right now. Middle school ministry, most importantly. That is what I was called to do. God called me to do that. Coaching football, when someone told me, hey, you might not be playing football anymore, but who said I can't coach football? And that's what I did. And man, it was a blast. Those youngins out there played some great kids. So blessed to have coached them. Hope you guys are listening to this right now. But yeah, they are awesome kids. Got to coach them. And man, the most awesomest thing ever happened, which was we all prayed as a team. And this was what they wanted to do, not me. They wanted to do it. They prayed as a group, together as a team. Awesome to see that guys working through football. And these athletes are not afraid to share about Jesus and talk about Jesus. And I love that. And these kids are seeing it. And it makes a difference. I'm telling you that. And God's calling me to serve. I'm serving middle school ministry. Not just that, but serving the homeless. Thanks to Will. Because Will asked me to do it. Me and my dad, we both did it. And I just realized, hey, all these people out there that don't have a lot of money, that don't have food, shelter, clothes. Every time I eat now, ever since I've seen this, saw those people, I pray before I eat. And it's because I saw that. I need to be thankful for that. Because I could be out there being one of them. But I'm not. Thank God. But, yeah, Will, if you know him, he's at our church. He's a Giants fan, unfortunately. But, but yeah, he is Bill help him and his wife. Help with that stuff. Asked me to do it. So grateful that I did that. And something I did, I was bold enough to do, which was pray over them. Pray over them, give them their food. I prayed over them. Such an honoring, humbling feeling. Let's pray over them. And I ain't the greatest prayer, but it was a prayer nonetheless. And that was so awesome. A funny story. One time I had to run across the street. I think this is around Christmas shopping. Right near Walmart, where Walmart is, and Applebee's. Had to cross through there just to give food to homeless folks and then pray over them. Yeah, that's what I did. But yeah, man. Most importantly, God is using me. I'm growing more and more in my relationship with Jesus Christ every day. I'm so blessed and honored to be doing that. And don't think that God can't use you. You can't do this. You can't talk about your testimony. You can't serve in a ministry. You can't be a pastor. You can't speak on stages. Guess what? If God can use me, he can definitely use you. Ain't it funny? I'm writing a message right now about Peter. And it's when God, no, I'm sorry, Jesus, when they were doing the going fishing, you may know the story. Peter was fishing for so long. It's like, we're done. We gotta be done with this. And Jesus is like, no. Watch this. As fish would literally fill the boat so much that the boat would sink. And Jesus goes over to Peter and says, you're going to be fishing for men now. Meaning, Peter is going to be helping save people and turn people to Jesus. If God, Jesus, can say, hey, Peter, the person that denied Jesus 3 times, God can't use you? Nah, because Peter was a fisherman. And now he is fishing for men, fishing people. He is to this day because what he wrote in that Bible matters. Because we all see it, read it every day. We get to read his story. God can use you. God can use you. I'm telling you, man. Achieve your dreams. Achieve them. Your high hopes, everything you hope for, you can do it. Keep God first. Keep praying. Keep working. You can't have a dream and not work for it because you won't get it. If you do that stuff, you do all that stuff, I promise you, you will achieve it. I don't care how hard people may see it say it is. People are saying, oh, that's impossible. Be realistic. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to the doubters. Don't listen to the haters. Because if you even fail, remember, failure is not final. Just because you failed, in my story alone, I realized this. Just because you failed does not make you a failure. Realize that. God can use you. God can use your story. God can use anything in your life for greater good. It says in the Bible, anything you do it for the glory of God. That's what you do. And I'll tell you what, we're going to end with this. I know this has been a little bit long, but hey, deal with it. Long is the way. God benched me in the football world. God benched me, put me on the sideline in the football world. But God called me. God called me to start for the kingdom of God. That's what he did. That's what he's doing. And this podcast, 1,000 followers on YouTube. Over 1,000 followers on YouTube and TikTok. Crazy to say. Hard to do, tough to do, but God's blessed me to do that. And I'm trying to use this podcast for him and to grow God's kingdom. And thank you guys for supporting me and watching my stuff, watching my videos. It means a lot to me. Yeah. That's my testimony, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed it. See, there's nothing crazy going on. Just a white wall better than the TV and the Super Bowl halftime show. Sorry if any of you guys saw that. I'm very sorry. But yeah. God bless y'all. You know the line. Remember, stay in business, y'all.